Hello and welcome to Around the Ice on Fantasy in Frames. It's NHL Week 5. Here with the boys, Toast Clark and Aaron Tometich. Going to talk about all our favorite bets. The game's going on tonight. We got a couple different segments for you, tell you who's hot, who's not, and just see what's going on around the league. Stick with us. Around the Ice is next. Thank you, everybody who's joining us here on Fantasy and Frames and the Stew with JT Brew. We're Around the Ice. Usually you see us on Tuesday nights. Thursday night action tonight, though, with the election on Tuesday, things were a little crazy around here. We decided to move it back a couple days, let everybody kind of watch the election results, do all that stuff, not try to jump all in that mess. So we moved it back here to Thursday, a little calmer today, a little easier. So got a couple games going. We'll talk about that action, guys. How are you doing this week?
Doing real good, JT. I tell you, it's really been an unpredictable start to the hockey season. It still hasn't, in my opinion, settled in to what you would actually expect as far as players, as far as teams. That consistency really hasn't got there yet, like what you would expect in past seasons. So it's been a hard one to gauge. Fun, but really difficult to gauge.
Yeah, agree. Totally agree. I mean, some of those lock-in bets, lockdown bets at all, you're making your parlay, whatever stuff you could count on is just it's just not quite there. I'm just waiting for that page to turn because I know my account needs it. I need some help. Again, I've kind of supplemented what I'm getting in the college game. Doing good in the college football this year, but the NHL has not been nice. So it's crazy. The over unders. It's like, well, is it going one way or the other? The games that I'm that's got a pretty good chance going over. They're not. And then then you get a game with 11 goals in it. It's just so I think so. We're still kind of feeling things out. Some of those teams that had the long off season, some of those teams that had no off season at all, like Florida Panthers, they haven't lost a step, but that's really been the only consistent thing I'd say is just their performance. And I think they're putting another one together tonight. I think they got a game in progress. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are. They're doing fine. 5-1.
They're the one team. Them and Carolina smoking 4-0 over Pittsburgh. We do have 12 games tonight of action here on a Thursday night, so all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk about a couple late nighters. We're going to talk about some bets and some things that Toshi liked today. Like I said, it's been a crazy start, fantasy wise, real life hockey, and for bets. Like you guys said, we're still trying to figure it out here. As JT, it has been a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, I will say, shout out to you. You won your last fantasy matchup by 0.1.
Yes, I know. John McGlynn texted me, was like, dude, you won by 0.1 point. I was like, are you serious? I was like, oh my God, I needed it too. We were two of the highest scoring teams of the week. So it was an absolute shootout. I went back and looked at the score. I was like, how close is this? I was like, I'm putting up a ton of points this week. And we had an absolute battle.
Yeah, and I was playing McGlynn last week, and as soon as the Sunday last game ended, he sent me a screenshot. He's like, wow, you got to be kidding me. And I was up by 0.1. But he's like, you just won by 0.1. I'm like, I got a goalie win coming in here for 3 points here in a second. So it ended up being 3.1. But
yeah, because
same time deal in the same week.
Like, I know. He was like, how did we both? He goes, how did you win by 0.1 and I lost by 0.1? And then he texted me later back. He's like, oh, Toast got to win. I lost by 3.1. I'm like, that's still ridiculous. 3.1.
It's still crazy. Yeah, it was still crazy. Aaron, you get your first win. You've been a little snake bitten too, and McDavid hasn't really got going yet, right? I mean, so your prized possession there, and he'll get his. So I'm definitely not worried about you. And I think JT, you got your first, or you're 2-2.
I'm 2-2 now.
Okay,
yep, I'm 2-2. I've had my team has been weird. I put up 2 monster weeks, and then I've had 2 duds. Like I've had 2 great scoring weeks and 2 weeks I was like at the bottom of the league. I got smoked. So I've got zero consistency right now. It's been wild. Everybody on my team that got off to a hot start now was cooled off. Now we got a couple guys coming back. So yeah, it's been kind of wild. This league has typically been pretty close throughout. I think we're gonna have another one this year. It feels like everybody's gonna be in the mix. A lot of good competition. We said that though. New first year of the Dynasty, moving from a keeper league. And it felt like everybody drafted pretty well and was pretty prepared. I think injuries and some of these slow starts, I think, are the things that are hurting people right now. But we'll kind of see. I had a little bit of injury bug for a minute there, but now my team is pretty healthy. Let's discuss, if you guys want to here. Let's talk about let's just go around the ice here. A couple games are going on right now. Dallas 1-0 over Chicago. I don't know if I brought it up on the last show, but the Blackhawks of course I was in Colorado a couple weeks ago. I was like, hey, I'm gonna take Colorado against the Blackhawks. I almost went to the game, ended up not doing it. Took my niece out for dinner instead. She didn't feel like going to the game, so we didn't go to the game. But I took the Avs, who've been off to a slow start as well, threw them in with a Monday night game, and bam, the Avs lose to the Blackhawks and crush my 2-team parlay. So it's been that kind of start to the hockey season. They're down currently 1-0 to Dallas. Boston 3-1 to Calgary right now at the end of 2. Carolina's up 4-0 over Pittsburgh at the end of 2. Jersey 3-2 over the Canadiens at the end of 2. Buffalo rolling 5-0 over the Rangers at the end of 2. Islanders 2-0 over Ottawa at the end of 2. Florida, like you said earlier, smoking right now 5-1 over Nashville at the end of 2. Tampa Bay 1-0 over Philly. They've got about 7 minutes left in the second. And then Utah, St. Louis tied at 1 at the end of the 1. And Winnipeg up 1-0 on Colorado at the end of 1. The 2 late games starting here in about an hour and a half. Got Canucks at the LA Kings, and you got the Wild at the Sharks. Any of those games, anything you guys seen in those games that have popped out, or anybody has had a good night tonight so far?
Yeah, obviously the Panthers over the Predators right now, and man, the Predators. It is a little. It looked great on paper, right? Before they started the season on their off-season moves, and obviously it's just not working right now. It's not gelling. I want to say they're in the basement there in the Central Division, which is kind of hard to do right now. I know it's a great division. It really is maybe the best in hockey, but when you have the Hawks in there and still, you're below them, that's obviously unacceptable. And Stamkos did get another golden night, so he started to heat up. That's 4. So he's starting to kind of turn it on a little bit. But yeah, Yossi's been real quiet. And Forsberg has been fine, but definitely not anything he was doing last year. And the Panthers are just rolling everyone. They'd be about unbeatable at home right now. And Reinhardt's continuing it. He's continuing doing what he's actually doing all year. It's just unbelievable. I think he's got 11 goals and maybe like 13 or 14 assists, like 25 points in like 13 games. It's unbelievable what he's doing. And what a discount of $8.5 million for the next 8 seasons or 7 seasons, something like that. But yeah, that stood out to me. Aaron, what do you like going on so far?
So far, I got my eye on the Sabres, Buffalo Sabres. They've been kind of I don't know, kind of schizophrenic, for lack of a better term. They're very unpredictable. They've beat very good teams. They're coming off the heels. Was it last night or the night before? They beat Ottawa 5-1. They're up 5-0 on the Rangers. Rangers have played really well this year. Shesterkin, I don't know that he got the start. I'm not convinced. I'm looking at that right now.
I'll check.
Yeah. As I look at that, though, they've beat big teams. They beat Dallas. They beat Florida, and then Florida beat them. Wasn't a home-to-home, but Buffalo's they've been competing well with good teams, and they've been dummied by loser teams. So I don't know what to expect, but they seem to I don't know. I know we'll talk about players a little bit, but some of their top performers, their bigger names that Tage Thompson kind of had a down year, but he certainly seems to be back. I was looking at some of the edge statistics at NHL.com that they kind of look at player speed and that kind of stuff. He's 4th year. He's leading the league, and 4th year in a row for hardest average shot. So it's all the shots, it's those one timers, it's wrist shots. They just compile every shot a player takes and then give them an overall It's not just ripping slap shots at the blue line. It's everybody, and he's tops in the league of that. So I thought that was kind of a cool stat. But yeah, I'd say them. The other one, just a real quick one is the Bruins. I felt like tonight's a must-win. I mean, we're in week 5 for Christ's sake. Nobody's playing a must-win game, but the Bruins they stink. They look like garbage. It looks like. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of this because I know we had the predictions and all that, but going back, there's only so many teams that can make it, and I want to say it was two, maybe all 3 of us. I can't remember now. We'll have to go back and listen to that pod, but I know I had the Bruins out and Ottawa.
I had them out.
Right now, that's looking like it may be. Tons of season left. Bruins are too good. They signed Swayman, whatever. But they are beating the Flames today, so I think they're kind of Montgomery's. He's been in the press a lot more. He's kind of. I know he had the little dust up there with Marchand, and then I can't remember. He went at another player. Was it Pasta? I think he went at Pasta.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Or so it just seems like there's something just not. These aren't the Bruins we've seen for the last few years. So could this be the year? I still stand by it. I still think they're out. We'll see. Time will tell. Again, they're winning tonight, but I just love it. It's so fun watching Ottawa play. Not tonight, but every other night. They have been a lot of fun to watch. So we'll see. Yeah, they're getting goose egg right now. They haven't scored anything, but
Yeah,
yeah.
And Aaron,
Yeah,
it looks like Shesterkin, he did get pulled. So
we got pulled.
yeah, he got pulled and Quicks in the game there. And the only other game, JT, that I may be interested in tonight from we could talk some gambling here soon, but from a gambling perspective, there, the Minnesota actually going into San Jose tonight. I like the Kaprizov. You still could probably get over 1.5 points. And he's been pointless in 2 games. And that's actually after ripped off. That was 8 straight having multi-point games. So I like him to bounce back tonight. San Jose has actually got a little bit better after that horrible start. They've actually been fairly good in the last week and a half, but they still tend to actually just be lax on defense and actually give up quite a bit. And I could see that being a track meet. So I like Kaprizov tonight for over 1.5 points. I'll probably get on that during the podcast here.
I was going to say, we're going to have to look at that and maybe put a little same game parlay together. I was going to say with the Florida Panthers, I got Barkov got injured early. That hurt me. He's back, 3 assists tonight. So I'm like, bam, love to see that. Bob, I would love to play Bob some more because they're winning so many games, but Connor Hellebuck has been lights freaking out. He's 9-1, 2.1 goals against, 92% save percentage, 2 shutouts already. They're my 2 goalies. And in our Dynasty league, we're only starting 1 goalie. So I'm like, I'd love to get Bob in there and get some wins, but it's like at this point, I can't. If they're playing the same night, I can't sit Connor Hellebuck. He has been awesome, and I'm super pumped. I know we were all kind of down on the Jets. They've been off to a great start. I'm super pumped I took him where I did in the Dynasty draft because he has been he's been fantastic. I was also if we want to talk about it just real quick as we're looking at these games. I was kind of looking at our as we're talking about our fantasy league, going over scoring so far, seeing a couple guys that kind of were popping off to me in our league that are like a little surprising. How about Alex Ovechkin right now? Number 8 in our league in total points, 76.1. He's averaging even more. He's averaging 6.34 points a game. The old guy, he fell deep in the Dynasty startup draft. Top 8 scorer right now. He got off to that crazy slow start last year. And man, he has been great to start this season, as Washington has been very surprising.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I know this is part of a later segment. I'll screw it. I'll talk about Ovechkin now because it just feels natural to do it. So I don't care to really bounce around here a little bit, guys. So Ovechkin's he's got 16 points in 12 games. But JT, you remember that bet I put in at the beginning of the season there for him to go ahead and break the goal record? For him to get the 43 goals. I forgot about that. And I went back and actually looked. I had put a $25 to win $275 under at plus 1,000. And right now he's doing very, very good. He's been on a goal tear. And if you remember last year, he ended the season, I think and again, I'm just pulling these numbers here from my rear, but I think it's 22 goals, maybe his last 21 games or something like that. Aaron, I think that was something like that, right? Like
That's right.
he ended on an absolute just tear, and he needs 36 more to set the record. And I really like that, JT, from we're going through our gambling show that actually started off the season. I'm like, get it on right now. And everybody's like, I don't know, because we weren't quite sure with Washington bringing in the players they actually did. It was kind of odd, right? Like the offseason moves were weird to bring in, like PLD for one and actually give him the huge contract. It was just a little odd. But so Ovechkin's got 40 shots on goal, 32 hits. He's shooting 20%. That's fine. That's fine for Ovi. And he's got 6 goals in the last 5 games and a goal in 5 straight. But talking about Washington, like Connor McMichael. McMichael has been a surprise. 23 years old, and obviously they knew he was going to be a good player, but nobody really expected him to be doing what he's been doing this year. He's got 8 goals and 5 assists through 12 games. 39 shots on goal. That's why I like it. That's why I like McMichael a lot right now, because of the shots. 2/3 of those shots come in the last 5 games. So maybe a little bit inflated, but he's feeling it right now. He's got points in the last 8 out of the last 10. He gets that second line deployment there with PLD and Wilson as well. And so I want to say right now, I'll predict that he's probably going to end up 65, 70 points. And right now he's pacing for well over a point per game, but obviously that's going to slow down a little bit. But 65, 70 points, considering what he did last year, I think he was probably like the 30-point range for only a 22-year-old, and is starting to kind of feel himself. Like, I like what they're doing. And we're all surprised by Washington, right? I had them dog crap and had them missing the playoffs, and I think they're something like 9-2 or 8-2-2. They're off to an amazing start so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since I already brought him up and I got us out of I got us a little bit out of the group. Hey, let's just jump ahead to our Buzz and Hands section of the show. Let's just jump right in that, since we're talking about Ovi. This is our new segment we like called Aaron came up with this one. This one's called our Buzz and Hands on Rise. These are the guys that are starting to hit. These are guys that are playing really well. Obviously, we just talked about Ovechkin. Really great start to him. Who else you guys got here on the list for your Buzz and Hands list for the week?
Yeah, I mean, I was big on this guy, so kind of little shout out, little throw it to ourselves on predictions. But Marty Natchez is killing it in Carolina. He's and it's not, his shots are, I just pulled up the percentage. The site just went down, so I don't have it top of my mind. But just as I drafted him in our deep league, our 40-round league, and the numbers he's pulling, it's a goal and an assist tonight. He's showing up on the score sheet. Not so much the hits, the blocks, those aren't there. He's offensive production, but it's a bit of both. So he's passing and he's shooting. He's out there flying around. So right now, he is in. I know he's in the. If I can pull this back up here, he's in our top 20.
He's 12th currently.
Right,
he's sitting 12th in our league currently in scoring with 72.2 points per game. He's averaging 6.02 points per game. So if you actually pull up our league average scoring, he's actually higher in the average. He's actually 7th at 6.18 per game. He's 7th in our league in average points per game, 12th overall in actual points, but 7th in points per game at 6.18. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, kind of, and logging a lot of ice time. His time on ice has gone up, and again, it kind of went back to that when Carolina was. I think the general consensus was they certainly had the cap room to sign Getzel to long term. They didn't. He went to Tampa, as we all know, but they could have had the plan all along that, hey, Marty Natchez is our guy. We're going to give him. He's got the ice time now. He's our 1-1. Let's see what he can do. And certainly, so that, I would say through 5 weeks, or in the midst of week 5, definitely standing out. He's got those hands buzzing. Keep him buzzing, buddy. I need you, because Connor, like you said, he's back now, but McDavid he's putting up McDavid type numbers. I'll put it like that. He's over that 6 points per game that threshold that's so elite. I hope he can keep it up.
Yeah, and Aaron, I'll add too with Natchez as well as he's doing it all with goals and assists. I mean, 21 points in 12 games. I mean, because he only has 9 hits and 3 blocks. I mean, so he's not gonna. It's not awful with the
He's
block.
dodging people. Yeah,
He
he's
may end
dodging
up
the
giving
puck,
you like
he's
60
dodging
blocks
people.
a season, which is not like Patrick Kane or somebody else where you're getting like
Right.
or Jack Hughes where you're getting like 3 blocks a season. But what a start, man! And their power play, Carolina's power play has been humming, man. They've really been hitting on all cylinders, and tonight, look at them. I needed them. I so funny. Let me bring them up real quick here. Carolina, there they are, 5-1. The reason I actually had and Natchez, he gets the assist. So I actually went with a 3-leg parlay tonight with Natchez with a point. I ended up going um, the Heischer with a point, and I ended up going Reinhardt with a point. And so I got 2 of the 3 right now, and it's kind of frustrating now because the Devils have actually put up 4 goals right here. It's Jack Hughes and Bratt. They're kind of going wild right now, and of course, like Heischer's been going nuts of late, and he's not involved. So I need Heischer for one more point here, and I'll end up
Gotta have it. I need Heischer,
parlay.
baby. I got him.
So,
I got him.
yeah,
He's been off to a nice
yeah.
start to the season.
Yeah, but the great call out on Natchez. I mean, and Aaron, you called it. You called it. Like, hey, this guy is building up. He's a great player. I mean, he had 53 points last year and then 71 the year before and stuff. And I mean, the guy's only 25 years old, but he is having his coming out party this year. Now, the 25.9% shot percentage, we all know that's not going to hold. But don't think that like he can't do high teens on the shot percentage because he's coming into his own, man. He's really starting to find it. So I love this player. Awesome.
Yeah, and it tells like you said, Nico Heischer, the guy that I got in the draft, he currently is 1 spot behind Natchez in scoring right now in our league. He's number 12. So I've been pumped about that. He's been helping me out big time. Who else we got on the buzzing hands list for this week?
Yeah, I'll go with his teammate, Andrei Svechnikov, another Bangers League dream, man. He isn't he? I mean, a younger guy as well, and a guy who has off to a great start, not as good a start as the guy we were just talking about, but 12 points in 11 games. He's got 5 goals, 7 assists, and but what I really like about Svechnikov right now, he's averaging 4 shots a game. He's got 43 shots on goal. That's leading the team. 11.6% on the shots for his shooting percentage, which is right at the career average. I like that a lot. And he's hitting, right? He always a hit guy, but he's hitting a little bit less than he normally does. He's only paced for like 110 hits. Usually the guy gets a pace for like 150 hits, which is really, really good. But he partners with Aho on line 1. He's been having him with Roslovic on line 1 as well. And that's what, I was looking earlier today, Aaron. That's what makes Natchez even greater, what he's doing. He's got 8 power play points. I saw that out of his 21. But if you think about that, so that's 13 even strength points. He's sharing a line with Eric Robinson and Jesper Kotkaniemi. Hard to say. So Natchez is just, I mean, he doesn't even have the deployment you'd actually want for that many points. So Carolina, man, they're on fire. 9-2. They've won 7 straight. They're going to win their 8th straight tonight, it looks like. They're scoring over 4 goals a game. But Svechnikov, he's a guy that, would have been really targeted high in our Dynasty Bangers League. And I forget exactly where he went, but I'm now kind of pissed off I didn't get him.
Yeah, no joke about that. I'd love to have him on my team.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Aaron, you got another guy on your buzzing hands list?
Yeah, I've got another one. Again, shout out to ourselves. Timmy Stutzel. So that's your boy. You guys have been on this guy for years. I mean, it's cool because it's like, I feel like at this point, those of us that watch hockey for the, just for the joy of the sport, those that watch for the betting aspect, those that tune in to, hey, I'm should I buy, should I sell, who's hot, who's not. you're the fantasy angle. Like, you guys have been on this guy for a while, so I feel like, to me, it's a household name, but he's not like a headline grab. Like, he's not, obviously he's not a, of the major sports, it's probably the least talked about in the mainstream media. But this dude's he's legit. He's doing everything that you guys had predicted he would do. So again, it's fun to watch, and much like Natchez, it's not like he's. I mean, he is out there with Kachuk on occasion, but that's not his normal spot. I think on the PP they might team up, but he's one of those guys that too. It's, you can tell when he's on the ice. Much like, and again, I'll go back to Natchez a little bit, and then of course McDavid, that always is the standard. McDavid is. You watch another game, when 97's out there, not because you see his number, but because you see the flashing around. I'd say Stützle's getting to that point too. He's getting some room. Some guys are giving him room. The defense is backing off. They're not quite gapping up on him. He's getting that respect that certainly he deserves. So I think, I'm pulling it up now. What does that look like? 17th in the league, I think.
He's been fantastic. Yeah, you said, I think he's 17th, 18th in the league in overall scoring. In our league right now, he's got 11 goals, 4 assists. He's had 25
wrong guy.
minutes. Oh, yeah. Stützle?
Yeah, he's got 6 goals and 12 assists for 18 points.
I'm looking at the wrong. Yes, there you go.
Wrong guy.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm looking at I was looking at the wrong category. Thank you, Toast. He's got 25 pins. He's also got 26 hits, 9 blocks.
See, that's what I like. I mean, so he's pacing right now. So the 13 games we actually have in play, we're not even a quarter way through the season, and he's already pacing for well over 100 hits, and probably another 40 to 50 blocks. And the 25 shots on goal, that's like not, that's about where he doesn't shoot the puck an absolute ton. I'm looking back at what he's done last year: 192 shots, 228 the year before. He's gonna be right around 200. He's more of a distributor, and man, he's healthy, right? We talked about his shoulders injury last year. It was never healthy. It was never revealed. You wonder kind of why, with 18 goals and 52 assists last year for 70 points, he was still almost a point per game player, but he just wasn't the same guy, especially with that 9.4 crap shot percentage he had last year. But man, he's looking.
Hey, Toast,
great.
I had to talk Toast off the ledge last year. I mean, he told people we would trade everybody but Stützle, and then all of a sudden we were struggling for a bit in our this is in our cat league, and he was like, maybe I'll move him. I was like, whoa. I'm like, Toast, what is happening? Because he was like, I'm willing to look at anybody, but he's like, seriously, don't even ask. We're not trading him. And then he he got to a point where he was like, maybe I'll move him. I'm like, Toast. I was like, whoa.
No,
calm down, dude. I was like, if you trade him, I was like, if you trade him, you are gonna be so angry at yourself that we moved him in his year when he was 21 years old. You were going to be 21. So mad. So we just went through, we've been really good in that league every year, and we just had a ton of injuries, and nobody was playing well. And Toast was like, man, maybe we should start mixing this team up. And I'm like, man, we're too good to be getting rid of guys, but we just weren't playing well. Our team wasn't
good. Call,
good.
JT. Good.
And I was like, man, Toast is real frustrated if he's thinking about moving. I was like, oh, don't do it, dude. I just knew it because I was like, dude, the second he hits trade somebody and they accept it, he's gonna be like, what did I do? What I blacked out. What happened? What happened? What happened? I was like, no, don't do it, man. I'm like, don't do it. Anybody else you guys got left? You want to talk in this segment before we move on?
We're talking about some of the obvious guys, right? Some of the big heavy hitters. It's not like we're talking about the McDavid and the Dreisaitl's and the McKinnons and the Makars, and that's a whole nother issue going on right now. We could have a whole segment on them, those top tier teams that really are underperforming. They're injured and stuff, but Tage Thompson and Aaron mentioned it. He's talked about it a couple of times with having such a big heavy shot and stuff, but Tage is on a tear right now. So 15 points in 13 games. You got 44 shots on goal. I really, really like that. So Peterka is actually back right. I think Peterka missed the first couple games of the season, and actually now he's back. And man, Peterka, I want to say, if I remember right, through 11 games, he missed a couple games at the beginning of the season. He's already got 12 points or something. And Alex Tuck's that distributor, right? So that's their line, and that power play one as well. And it's amazing if Buffalo could just play any defense and they could actually stop the puck consistently, it'd be really, really good. They're a top-heavy team. I'll give them that. The reason I say that is because Dylan Cousins is your second-line center, and he just doesn't really play with anybody, and it's kind of frustrating. I mean, Jack Quinn isn't like awful, right? I mean, but he's just not getting that deployment. Those other guys, they really stack and make that top line kind of heavy. But talk about Cousins for a second. He's got 38 shots on goal so far, so he's averaging 3 shots a game. He's hitting and blocking of late too. I really didn't realize he was actually a guy who actually threw it on hits and block. But if you go look at the stats, he's doing it 2.6 shots or 2.6% on a shot percent. Okay. That's all you need to know with Cousins. He scored a goal tonight. He's going to end up with over 200 shots on goal. A Buffalo team that's 5-7-1. They're going to go to 6-7-1. That's a really, really big win actually coming into a really good and a red hot Rangers team, right? And actually Buffalo laying it down on them and actually get closer to 500. But man, Tuck, he has a hard time staying healthy. I know Tage has actually had health issues. Paterka already actually had some missing part of the season to start off with. I know Cousins actually been injured. So they're a team that's hard to stay healthy. But Tage Thompson, man, watch out. He's starting to go on one of those little tears. Get him on the points right now for a bet. Like, just put it in because right now he can't be stopped. Let's see what he has tonight. Let's see, Sabres. He's got tonight Tage Thompson, a goal. He's got a goal on 2 shots, and he's got a hit right now. And and like I said, a comfortable 5-1 lead right now for the Sabres at the Rangers.
Yeah, it's just, and I know we talked about them before. Not to they just got to figure out how to beat those mediocre or lower teams, because they're showing up to the rink when they play a big name team, whether it's home or away. I don't know. I mean, I know we see that in all sports. There's some version of this. Like, they play well when the big dog's in town, and they kind of take a night off when you got. I think they beat the Hawks, though. They did beat them, but
they did. Yep.
Outside of that, they're the lower teams seem to beat up on them a bit. But yeah, I think you're right, Toast. Hold the lead, get a lead, hold the lead, because it looks like the pucks are finally hitting the net. That's ridiculous. I did not know Cousins was so low on the shot percentage. He it's a couple games. I think he's only the second goal of the year. But if they're starting to go in, that's good. That's good for those that own him, me being one of them. So, yeah. Yep.
Well, and Aaron, you actually mentioned maybe about 10 minutes ago about the Bruins and stuff, and they had a 3-1 lead. They've caught that up. It's a 3-3 game right now with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah. Oh, they're so done. They're so done. They're
and I was when you said that, I was thinking, I wonder what Calgary is right now on the money line.
Toast, that's hilarious. You were looking at that, because I literally was about ready to ask you at the end of this segment, do we like any money line bets in the game? I was literally had pulled up. I had the Calgary game pulled up. Like, do we want to maybe money line them here or not?
Well, what I'll say right now is Montreal has actually made it 4-3 at the Devils. The Devils have they have a tendency to cough it up and cough up leads. They're pretty good at that. I wonder what the I'm having a brain fart. The
live bet is on
no,
that?
yeah, but not the tie. They call it something else. It's the no, it's I'd have to bring up my gambling app or whatever. But for that to go to overtime. I wonder if it's like plus 300, plus 350 to actually go to OT. I can see that game
you
going
can
overtime.
You can also get Calgary as we'll just jump into Toast takes. We're all over the place here. Let's just jump into some Toast takes here. Gambling takes.
Yeah.
The Flames right now are plus 108 as it's 3-3, and I literally was pulling it up, going, guys, should we jump on them when they're down 3-2? When it got to 3-2, I was like, I literally was just about ready to pull the segment and say, they're down 3-2. What if we jump on them? And then we jump on somebody else here in a few of these games and throw them together. You got Tampa Bay 1-0 over the Flyers. I was like, oh, we could have added them with Tampa Bay minus 1.5 at minus 128. If you wanted to right now, I'm just gonna pull this up and see what it would look like and give you UPS. So if you wanted to go Flames to win it, plus 108. Parlay that with Tampa Bay minus 1.5. They're up 1-0 right now.
I like throwing a
2-0 stars. What do you think? Do you add stars minus 2.5 at minus 215?
Yes.
Add that one to it.
The shots on goal on that Hawks, and it's an embarrassment right now.
And then if you go Utah, St. Louis, anything on that, or do we like Wild minus 1.5 at the Sharks?
I like Wild minus 1.5 at the Sharks, even though the Wild have been playing.
That 4-leg parlay would be plus 943 right now on FanDuel. Plus 943.
Well, right now, DraftKings is an offer. Oh, see, we just lost our opportunity. The Canadians right now are plus 550. There it is, plus 800. To actually, I would just throw $10 on that and just go ahead and see if you can actually get, a quick $80 or whatever for Canadians. Canadians actually, it's plus 1,300 now. That's the play right now. I like the Canadians to tie that game up. The Devils have actually had a hard time with the defense goaltending as well, and just got the feel of a game that's going to get a little wild. So if you can get that in, get it in.
Yeah, but like I said, the one I put in just for everybody to reiterate, I jumped on Flames money line in a 3-3 game. Tampa Bay up 1-0, minus 1.5. Stars up 2-0, minus 2.5, and the Wild, the late game, minus 1.5. That right now is plus 920.
Yeah,
plus 920 on that.
That makes sense.
I jumped on that as a live bet. If for anybody out there listening that maybe wants to follow. Toast, any other ones you got, or if you don't,
yeah, just real quick. The Hawks are actually really, really lucky that Arvid Soderblom's actually playing really, really well of late in goal. They got outshot like 25-10, something like that, and Soderblom's actually stopped 23 of 25 shots. I mean, that's going to get out of hand. This game's going to get out of hand here soon. Where the Stars, they're offering minus 2.5 at minus 200. That's exactly how bad it's getting out of hand right now. Could you imagine actually being a minus 2.5 at minus 200? So that's where they're at with that game. But yeah, I'm just getting in right now. Just actually put the $10 on the Canadians actually at plus 800. That game will be over here soon. We'll see if they can come back there and actually tie that game up, and make it interesting.
Toast, let's jump into some of your Toast takes that if you guys, for anybody who doesn't know or is new to the show, follow Toast at Toast Clark on the X. He puts out his Toast takes almost every day, as long as he gets time, doesn't get crazy busy. Puts out his Toast takes and puts out his favorite bets, single bets, parlays, and kind of like a long shot bet. He throws those out every day on there. So you can also find those on the Stu with JT Brew page on the X. If you haven't, at JT Brew Stew is where you can follow us there. Always putting those on that as well. So you can always follow theirs. And I always retweet those out on my page at JT Orange as well. Toast, go through some of your Toast takes from today, where we're at, what you had, and if anything is looking good or is hit or hasn't yet today.
Yeah, it was a real light day for me as far as putting that together. I did put one parlay together, and it was that 3-point parlay for 3 players. Again, waiting for Nico Hischier to actually get his point. They're on the power play right now. The Devils are, and if they can get that point, I'm actually golden there right now. But I had a Reinhardt for a point. I had Hischier for a point, and then I had also Natchez for a point. And I say Reinhardt and Natchez have actually got their point, waiting for Hischier to actually get his, which is pretty frustrating considering they put up a lot of goals here, and the top lines have actually got all those points, but Hischier has not been lucky enough to be in on. He's been on a tear. Jack Hughes having a big night, goal, 2 assists. So that was my big one. Right now, I'm actually pretty big on point parlays. Go ahead and get in those heavy hitters before they actually go to minus 1.5. Oh, I'm sorry, plus 1.5. You really can't put McKinnon in there right now, and McCarr in there right now, and McDavid in there right now and stuff, because they're wanting to put them at plus 1.5 already, which is fine. It's where they belong, but. And I say this, and McKinnon had 5 assists last night, right? But with their team struggles where they've actually been, they're not that slam dunk like they were last year. Right now, we got to wait. We got to wait on them. We got to wait for McDavid to pick it up. And as soon as McDavid goes 2 games in a row with actually having, 2-3 points, then you're going to go ahead and jump on that plus 1.5 at still plus money, what's going to be. And you're going to parlay that again with Edmonton to win the game and Edmonton to score over 2.5 goals. You're going to be able to get it like around plus 200, 250. And that's going to be what you're going to ride for a long time. You do the same thing with Colorado, but we haven't had the opportunity to do it yet. It's just not
the
happening.
Goaltending's been so bad, and those guys have been erratic.
Georgia
right?
is
It's like,
awful.
I mean, it's like we usually, we think we jump on those points, we jump on the win, on the money line, and it's like it doesn't matter lately because you never know because there's been so inconsistent. Both those teams, we got to wait till they get on a run, and they get on a run, we're gonna hammer that once they start moving.
Yeah, we just got to basically save our money and make sure we don't lose it all and just kind of get there because right now it's hard to do.
Keep something left in the account.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's hard to do. I was just making sure that Hischier actually didn't get injured tonight because he has been so on the money with points of late. I mean, I was I'm going back and looking at what he's been doing of late, and I'm gonna bring it up real quick. And here it is. I got to tip my fingers. But Hischier, here's his game log. I mean, it's just unbelievable what the guy's actually been doing right now. So his last games here, he's been 3 points, 0 points, 2 points, 1 point, 1 point, 3 points, 0 points, 1 point. So in tonight, he's not injured. He's got 19 minutes of time on ice. He just really, again, by chance, hasn't gotten a score sheet. So he's got 16 points in 16 games. And again, it's always been health for him, man. And he's healthy. He's actually Jack Hughes has not been Jack Hughes. He has really actually not been the player we actually thought he was going to be this year. He will be. Jack Hughes got a goal and 2 assists tonight. And then your guy, our guy anyway, Aaron, we talked about him, Tim Stützle, 2 assists, and they're making it interesting in that game right now as they've cut it down to 3-2.
Toast, I think you were talking about earlier at the beginning of the show, the Wild Sharks late game. You got a same game parlay you like for the that's a 10:30 East Coast time start, 9:30 Central time start.
Yeah, this is more of a stab in the dark because again, if you look at the Sharks, they started they're winning of late. Okay, so I'm going to stay away from the money line because the Wild minus 270 on the money line, it's just not good enough price. It's just too expensive. It's not going to move the needle on a parlay at all. So, but again, what I was saying, you got Kaprizov who said this is an unbelievable season. I mean, just amazing. He's went scoreless in 2 straight games. That's not like him. They're not going to allow that to actually go on much longer. And this could be a night where he just gets in there and eats versus the Sharks tonight. So I love Kaprizov at over 1.5 points, and I guarantee you look it up right now. I'm guessing. I'm going to look it up right now. I'm guessing you could probably get that at plus 165. Let's see what we actually have here.
Yeah, as you're looking that up, I think you had something on this too, Aaron. Right? You had bet this late night game.
Very, very similar. I had Kaprizov. I'm saying he's going to get the assist. So I've got him at over 0.5 assists, and I've got the Minnesota money line. You put those into a same game parlay. Not great odds, plus 110, but it can help you out for the spell we've been talking about. So maybe one of those hedge bets because
just to get a win, baby. Sometimes you just need a win.
That's a chip in a chair, right? Yeah. Yes. Just I need that. I need that tonight. So I'm throwing a couple of bucks on that, and we'll see what happens with that one. But I like that a lot. Like Toast, you said, Kaprizov is crazy, lights out year, and he's on a 2-goal drought, or I'm sorry, 2-game pointless drought. That ends tonight against San Jose.
Yeah. Toast, did you find what you were looking for?
I did, and it's only plus 100. So that goes to tell you Vegas even thinks, okay, they're playing the Sharks, and they're going 2 games in a row being pointless after just going off an absolute just bonkers. They think he's going to go ahead and get there as well because over for over 1.5, so get the 2 points. This being even money at plus 100. There you go, right? There you go. So I may go plus 100, not parlay with anything, and go a little bit heavier and get a little dicey. I may do that tonight.
Aaron, do you like anything on that Kings at home against Canucks game? Also a 10:30 start Eastern time, 9:30 Central. Right now, Vancouver, even though they're on the road, they're 6-2-3. Kings are 8-3-3. Vancouver's a minus 130. Over under on that one is 5.5. You like anything in that?
Yeah, what I like, Quinn Hughes has been shooting the puck a ton. 40 shots on goal, this guy. He's been finding those gaps. He dances around people. He walks that blue line like nobody else in the league, McCarr included. He's amazing at what he does. And those shots are finding their way to the net, which is good. 40 shots on goal for a defenseman that's one of that's a top forward one would take 40 shots on goal this point of the season. So I'm going over on 3 shots for him, and then I'm going to parlay that with a under. Hate playing the under, but I'm going to play the under. It's like I said, it's been that kind of year. Let's change it up. Under 1.5 goals, combined goals for the first period. Vancouver has only 1 goal in the first period in their last 4 games. LA Kings have had 2 for
It looks like Aaron we might have lost him there for a second. So we'll wait and see if we can get Aaron pulled back up. It looks like he had a little bit of a connection problem. Aaron, you back? We lost you for a minute there.
Yep.
You were just talking about the first round, first period goals.
First period goals, yeah. It looks like Vancouver, LA, they're both slow scoring, slow to the gate. Defense wins, so I'm going the under first period on that, along with a 3 over on 3 shots on goal for Quinn Hughes.
All right, it's that time of night. Let's move to the 3-minute shift here, as this is our segment where we get guys going a little slow. They're struggling a bit. Who wants to get us kicked off here for the 3-minute shift?
Yeah, I can go ahead and start here. Let's go ahead and stay with Vancouver. Elias Pettersson. Guys, it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good at all. 5 points in 11 games. Okay, you can be like, all right, slow start. Not a big deal because all the other numbers are actually looking good, right? Like, they're not looking good. The other numbers aren't looking good. He's never been a guy that actually shoots a ton, but he's not shooting. And honestly, the entire Vancouver team's not shooting. They're 30th in the league in shots on goal. They're not shooting a puck. He's only got 21 shots on goal in 11 games. He's not even averaging 2 shots a game. And he's only shooting 9.5%, for the season. And he's only got 1 power play assist. They're in the bottom third of the league. Vancouver is in power play opportunities. I think they're 22nd. I checked on that today. This guy's an average 16.4% for shooter for a career. He had over 30 power play point last year. This is a terrible start. Talk about our bangers league. And again, the guy doesn't bang. We know he will hit, though. He will actually hit, believe it or not. 233rd out of 363 eligible forwards. That's how bad he is at ADP of 23 on Fantrax. And the whole team's not shooting. It is shocking right now to me that Vancouver is 6-2-3 on the season. This is a good sign if you're a Vancouver fan. Like, hey, we're 6-2-3, and our offense has been bad. Kevin Lincoln, man, carrying them. 6-0-2 with a 2-0-9. The ex-Hawk, right, Aaron?
Yeah.
The ex-Hawk, 923 save percentage, and he's been really, really good. He backed up Crawford there near the end of his career and stuff in Chicago, and young guy. I always liked him. But I mentioned Quinn Hughes as well. I had him in my notes, and he's the only one shooting a puck. Everybody else in those top 2 lines are not shooting a puck at all. So I don't know what's going to happen with their offense. Maybe a good time to actually buy low on a guy like Brock Besser. Actually buy low on a guy like Elias Pettersson. They're going to definitely get it going. And it's, again, if you're a Vancouver fan minus fantasy, this is a really, really good sign of the fact that you have a good team and you've done nothing offensively so far. So better days ahead for them.
Anybody else we've got here on a 3-minute shift? Somebody's off to a pretty disappointing slow start this season.
You got anybody, Aaron?
Sorry, my connection's terrible. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you now. Yep, you got anybody for this segment, 3-minute shift?
Well, again, as much as I like to kind of go throw it back to to ourselves here with where we were right. We also have to admit when we were wrong, and Wyatt Johnston has not gotten off to the start that I thought he would. Dallas again, like you see, they Duchesne is off the charts good. I'm not sure what they put up tonight. They're still up 2-0 over the Hawks tonight, I believe. So team's playing well, defense, everybody's doing their thing except Wyatt Johnston. So missed that. Don't have the stats in front of me now. Like I said, my internet right now, I think I got a couple of games pulled up here now, so I think my bandwidth's a little stretched thin. But no, I would say of the guys that are taking the 3-minute shift now, he's there with that 3-minute shift. But he can turn around. He can turn around. Maybe he's a Claude Lemieux. Maybe he's a guy that coasts in the regular season, and then when the playoffs get there, he's in beast mode, and then he's that huge stud. Who knows? Maybe that's him. I don't know. But jury's still out. He's young. We'll see. But just not the start I was hoping for him.
Yeah, and Aaron, we'll piggyback, right? Great minds think alike here, and so again, another guy's just not shooting a puck. I know he does a little bit of everything right, but he's just not shooting a puck at all. 25 shots on goal. He doesn't hit and block a lot either, and that's what's hurting the production, especially in our bangers league as well. He just isn't. You can't let those peripherals actually carry him when he's actually not scoring a puck, and he's not. And that line last year with Ben and Stankoven as well, and they haven't clicked yet. None of those guys are actually really good. And you know what? Dallas is a lot like Vancouver right now. Good start, really good team, unbelievably deep. One of the probably top 5 or 6 teams in the entire league. They're 31st in the league in shots on goal. Vancouver's 30th. I mean, so and they're also in the bottom third in power play opportunities, and they're just not scoring on the power play. I mean, so it's been hard for Johnston to get going. Again, if you can have the opportunity to go out there and get Johnston, go get him. Give up somebody who's actually tearing it up, especially in those dynasty leagues, because he's going to be an amazing player. He's a really, really good player already, but this has not been a start. Fantasy wise for Dallas, that entire team's down. The only ones that's actually been tearing it up are guys actually on my team. It's been Matt Duchesne.
Yep.
And it's actually also Tyler Seguin. Seguin scores another goal again tonight. Seguin's actually been pretty darn good. He's already got 6 of them already. So scored against the Hawks. And but yeah, he's got to bounce back. But man, that entire team, both Vancouver and Dallas, no good from a fantasy perspective so far.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll wrap up the show here with a little bit of updates on some stuff going on. Devils just went final against the Canadians. I tried to check and see if Hersher got the last one. It wasn't. Jesper Bratt with the empty netter, 5-3. Devils take out the Canadians. The Sabres just finished up 6-1. Hurricanes 5-1 over the Penguins, and an empty netter at the end for the Islanders for Bo Horvat. Make it 4-2. So nice one. So they get the 4-2 win. I got up here. I'm trying to watch we're down to the last minute here of this Boston Calgary game. It's still 3-3 here. Just put it in the bet. Like we said, not a couple minutes ago for Calgary to end up pulling this one out. They're tied 3-3. Dallas is still up 2-0 over the Blackhawks at the end of 2. Florida is just cruising right now, 6-2. They have just been easily winning this game. There's about 5 minutes left. They're just trying to hold on and get through this one. Tampa Bay up 1-0 in the third over Philadelphia. Utah, St. Louis, about 5 minutes left in the second. They're 1-1, and Winnipeg is coming on the end of the second period, up 1-0 currently in that one. And then the 2 late games here, you got about an hour till they kick off, the Wild and the Sharks, and the Canucks and the Kings.
Yeah, and I'll say real quick here, JT, while we're wrapping up, is we talked about this at the beginning of the show. This is just kind of how the gambling is going right now. Things haven't settled in, and when you feel like you are settling a little bit snake bitten. For example, Heischer's has been on he's just been on a tear, right? I mean, it's been crazy how good he's actually been. And he plays 21 minutes tonight on ice, and their top 2 lines get all of the goals. And he's not on one of them. Now, this empty net, Don't be
Brutal.
surprised on the empty net. It's rare to actually get assists on empty nets, right? Because you're just kind of waiting for that. You're just throwing it at the net, whatever, for somebody to pass it to you. But they could end up adding a Heischer assist, because I would imagine he's your two-way player. He's your two-way player, so he could be on the ice there at the end of that empty netter, and maybe he actually gave the goal to Brat there on the assist. So watch that to kind of see if he's actually done there. But that's the type of stuff we're actually talking about right now. The reason I picked Heischer, because he was actually at minus 245 for a point, and Brat was at minus 245 as well. It was a toss-up. And I wasn't going to take Hughes because Hughes has not been lightened up of late, and because you had to get plus 1.5 points on him. And I was just comfortable with that. So again, that's the type of stuff we're talking about right now. Like, it's not like it's a bad bet. The bet was actually right. 2 out of 3, you're actually getting it I think I got it at plus 200 and 220 or something like that. I mean, you got 3 guys that's absolutely on fire, and they're good spots. You got New Jersey actually playing at home versus the Canadians. Okay, so you like that matchup. You had the Hurricanes playing at home versus the Penguins. They won 5-1. Devils won 5-3. And then you end up having the other one with the Panthers for Reinhardt versus the Predators who are struggling. So the matchups were all good as well. It made all the sense in the world to actually go, and it doesn't go, right? So that's it's been that way all year. It's been really, really tough start to the season, but we just got to keep at it, because those all make sense. You got to look at those type of matchups and actually get those guys that are on a roll and actually parlay those 3 points together, like point plays this year. I'm really liking that.
Any final thoughts there for you, Aaron, before we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, go Hughes. Quinn Hughes tonight. Let's go. Let's keep those shots going. Let's get 6, 7. Let's double up on it. Should be a good game tonight out there. It'd be fun to watch Vancouver, see if they can get the offense going. Tonight could be a good night that they turn it on. The Kings don't have anything for goaltenders, so let's light them up. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that. I was like, I kind of like Quinn Hughes, the shots you got there. I like the Kaprizov points. I might have to get like two legs from the Kings Canucks and 2 legs from the Wild Sharks. Throw those together, a little 4-pick parlay, two same games. I kind of like that move. Let's talk about it. Let's end it on that one. So Aaron, we're gonna go Hughes shots, correct?
Yep.
For in that
3,
game.
I think it was. Yeah.
So I'm gonna pull that up here on FanDuel real quick. Talk everybody through this, see what we like.
Hey, and real quick, I'm gonna add into JT. I'm gonna get on this here as well. The Sharks have actually let up the second most shots on goal in the entire league, and honestly, it's them and Penguins, and it's not really close. They're in a league of their own. That's how actually bad it's been. And Matt Boldy's actually on a shot tear right now. Boldy's actually in his last 6 games, he's actually had at least 3 shots on goal, but he's actually had 5, 9, 5, 3, 3, 4. You could probably get Boldy at minus 2.5 is my guess, because they're not going to give you the minus 3.5 shots on goal or the plus 3.5 shots on goal. So you could probably get him in around minus 170, minus 180. It's a good parlay piece to actually get Boldy in there. I'm gonna put Boldy in there for sure, and I'm gonna put together a nice little 2-legger. I'm gonna go heavy.
Yeah, tonight. I got that. I'm gonna build that sucker right now. See what we like here. So we're gonna go points. Kaprizov over a point.
Oh yeah.
Nope. Well, at 1 point is minus 430 for him. Do we like assists? Do we like points? Yeah, goal? He's actually like Aaron's 2 points is plus 112.
Yeah, I like Aaron's assist. And reason because I think they're going to put up enough goals tonight where he's going to be on an assist. And so that does make sense. And if you
all right, I like that.
Put it with the Boldy shots. I like that little 2-legger.
That's much better. Yeah, Kaprizov, I like that. Minus 158 on the shot. In that on there, and then we got the shots right. We're gonna go Boldy shots, correct?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's 2.5. They want you at 2.5.
I'm pulling up right now. Shots. I got a little options here. I got Boldy. Ooh, 2 is minus 700.
No,
3 is
shots.
minus 250.
Yeah,
so Boldy,
3 shots.
Yep, get that on there. Put that together. Okay, so we like Kaprizov over assist, Hughes 3+ shots, Boldy 3+ shots, and what else do we like as our 4th leg here? What else do we like in the Vancouver Kings game? Little 2-pick parlay of each. Who? Anybody else you like there?
Yeah,
in that,
I wish I could say I
anything-
actually like somebody on LA.
or a point or somebody
Yeah,
on Vancouver. Not the
Yeah,
I'm-
I think. Yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
I was gonna say Fiala on the Kings has burned me 3 times this year. I'm not
No.
touching the Kings. This guy, I don't know what his problem is, but he's suckered me in, so I'm staying away from the Kings. At least on the player props.
Yeah, and Fiala's on a little bit of a point streak here. He's got 7 points in
Is
the
he?
last 5 games. But I'm with you. My initial gut reaction is I'm not touching the Kings props. I'm just not doing it. So I've watched him play a couple games this year. Again, that's another team where I was kind of surprised. I just don't think they're that good.
Do we like JT Miller or Hughes to get a point?
No, because they're just not scoring right now.
No.
I like the Hughes shots. He's the only one shooting a puck. I don't like anybody to score right now, which is crazy. I just don't like it. That's how it's been this year. The trending will actually show you. They'll come out and just set the world on fire tonight.
I know. That's like I say. Everybody else say find a fourth leg you like. If I get one together, follow me. Jump on at JT Orange on the X. I'll throw it on there. We got about 45 minutes till game time. I'll jump on and throw that one. For Toast Clark and Aaron Tometich, I'm JT. Thanks for joining us here on Fantasy and Frames Around the Ice. If you haven't, please go to YouTube, like, subscribe, leave us a comment, leave us a rating on Fantasy and Frames and on the show. We really would appreciate it. Also, same thing on Spotify, Google Podcasts, any of those things. Please go out there and check us out. If you get a chance to watch us live, come on here, ask us questions, do all that. If not, please download the podcast and watch it later. Usually you'll find us at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central Time on Tuesday nights, a random Thursday night show here with the election on Tuesday night. We moved it back. We appreciate everybody who joined us tonight watching the show. Thank you very much, and we will check you next time. Thanks, guys. Appreciate everyone. This has been Around the Ice on Fantasy and Frames.